Look, I used to hate One Piece. As anyone can tell from this channel, I am a Naruto fan. Growing up with the Big Three anime and also Dragon Ball Z, that was technically not a part of the Big Three, yet was pretty universally appreciated by everyone. Then there was also Bleach, then there was Naruto and One Piece. And while I'm sure there were people that appreciated both of the animes respectively for what they were, there were many people from each side of the fandom that essentially disrespected the other anime because of how people compared it to the one that they appreciated. For example, Naruto fans who hated One Piece because they hated the fact that people would compare One Piece to Naruto and think it's just as good or even better, and vice versa. And I was certainly a part of this. I never really gave One Piece a chance, and to be quite honest, I essentially saw it as a disgrace that anyone would ever think that some random, stupid, stretchy kid was ever as cool as Naruto Uzumaki. Like, how could Mr. Fantastic with the straw hat ever be as dope as a ninja with a demon fox? I hated when people would say that One Piece was just as good or even a better series than Naruto. I swore that One Piece could never have had as good of villainous characters like Pain or like Gaara in part 1. And I swore that One Piece could never have had as good of versus battles like Sasuke and Naruto had multiple times, especially during part 1. And yes, I know this is like a childish line of thinking, but it's a part of life, right? Like honestly, I was a full-out hater of One Piece. I would literally search for YouTube videos for other people who thought One Piece was trash, simply to confirm all of my hater vibes. Every once in a while, I would go out and check out One Piece clips and whatnot, simply to see what all the hype was about. Yet nothing would convince me to actually give the series a chance and check it out. The characters always seemed way too silly and stupid to actually be taken seriously. Yet the fan base was as widespread as any anime that has ever been made, and I couldn't understand why. For years, I virtually just left One Piece alone and simply ignored the anime and manga, despite the recommendations to, give the manga and anime a chance. I simply would not until years later when the live action trailer was released. Funny thing about this was that I hate live action anime. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Evolution still remains as one of the worst movies ever created. Yet, it was simply not that alone. The Death Note live action movie was dog water, and both Avatar: The Last Airbender adaptations, both the movie and the TV show, have not been very good either. And yeah, I know that Avatar: The Last Airbender is technically not an anime, but you kind of get my point. Yet, when I saw the One Piece live action trailer, it was really good. Like, honestly, I know there was a bunch of people yapping like birds about how Sanji was done dirty or whatever, but at that point, I didn't know who any of those people were, and I really didn't give a shit, okay? All I knew was that the set designs looked fantastic, the special effects and the CGI was nice enough, and overall, everything seemed very intriguing. Now, at this point, I was much older and more mature and was not nearly as childishly against One Piece as I was in the past, yet there still wasn't anything that intrigued me enough to go out of my way to really check this series out. Yet this live action trailer was enough to do that. And after finally giving One Piece a chance, it was amazing. The moment between Shanks and Luffy during the live action show almost made me completely understand immediately why many people held this show in such high regard. After watching those available episodes, I truly committed to giving the manga and the anime a chance. At this point, the show was slightly over 1,000 episodes, which meant I had a ways to go to catch up. Nevertheless, episode by episode and manga chapter by manga chapter, I would go through everything, and it was truly amazing. From the adventures throughout the East Blue and adding different members to the crew, to seeing Luffy go out of his way to help his comrades no matter the circumstances, to even seeing the differences and arguments among crew members. The journey of the Straw Hat Pirates has been a hell of an adventure to watch. There's more for the crew to complete and experience before they truly get their finale, like the series of Naruto had with Shippuden. Yet best believe, when that time arrives, the Straw Hats are certainly going to have my support. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe.